we have your scores, highlights, and updates from Week 9. This is myGSPN Recap. Good afternoon, guys. I'm Chris Gonzalez.
And I'm Anthony Coleman.
And thank you all for tuning back into this edition of myGSPN's Recap, where we talk high school sports.
And as you know, the show is brought to you by GardenGrocery.com and You Discover Florida.
That's right, guys. And we have scores, updates, and highlights from this past week. But before we get into all that action, I want you guys to go ahead and make sure that you are following us along on all of our social media handles to stay up to date with the hottest sports coverage in high school sports. Twitter at myGSPN, Instagram at myGSPN, Facebook at myGSPN, and go ahead and click that subscribe button down below this video to stay up to date with your sports news. Now, Moo, we had a lot of action. Thursday night games, Friday night games, a lot of district matchups.
Sure.
Let's take us through some of the action.
Man, there were a lot of good games, a lot of great teams battling, but there was the game of the year, basically, that happened Friday. IMG Academy, number 3 team in the country, versus St. Francis Academy, number 5 team in the country. Two of the best teams in the country battled out, but St. Francis got the big win against IMG, 35-7. That's the second time we've seen a Maryland team destroy a Florida team. So Florida, we gotta get it going, man. The Maryland boys are just beating us like that.
Crab Bowl boys over there doing the thing.
They're doing something with them Crab Bowl boys, man. It's crazy. Senior running back Blake Karam played big for St. Francis as he finished with 200 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns.
Sheesh.
So big game for him against one of the best teams. So
that's right, especially against IMG Academy. That's very, very impressive numbers there for that team out of Maryland.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we have some top 25 matchups for the Florida teams going on as well. Number 23, Deerfield Beach took on number 2, St. Francis Academy. I mean, not St. Francis. St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas got the win, 28-7. 2020 running back Anthony Hankerson played big, another 100 yards he had on the ground. That makes 400 yards, 5 touchdowns in the past 4 games for him. So he's been playing big for St. Thomas, and St. Thomas improves to 7-0 in the season. So they've been rolling, man.
Might see St. Thomas Lakeland back in that state title game.
That's what I'm saying. St. Thomas is doing their thing, and Lakeland's doing their thing. Speaking of Lakeland, they also had a big matchup against the top 25 team. They destroyed number 25 Bloomingdale, 26-0. Clemson commit running back Debo had 3 touchdowns in the game, so of course he played another big game for him. Right. So
Lakeland's
doing their thing.
That's almost like the standard for him now.
Oh yeah, at least two or three touchdowns done by halftime, the usual for Debo.
That's right. And
number 11 Seminole, who we've seen a lot, they had a big win against Spruce Creek, 35-15. As we see here in this play, Timmy McLean drops back. Great awareness in the pocket, sidesteps, and flings it downfield to O'Shea Baker for the 41-yard touchdown. That was O'Shea's second touchdown of the game. He also had a punt return. O'Shea and Timmy have been looking amazing, man.
I'm saying O'Shea's really had his number called a lot this season. There's a lot of buzz on social media. It's almost like you can't go online on Twitter without seeing either of those two names, especially with all the media coverage that we have nowadays.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can't go anywhere without seeing Seminole popping up. Seminole's another team that you guys got to watch out for deep into the playoffs this year as well.
Yeah, the boys been doing their things for sure.
Right.
Them Seminoles, boy, I love to see it. And then on Thursday night, like you said, a bunch of big district games. On Thursday, I was on at Jones for that big matchup against Mount Dora. Okay. Jones dominated the whole game, man. They scored on basically every single possession. By the end of the first quarter, they were up 26-6. At halftime, 47-7, bro. It was just a slaughter the whole game.
Right.
The offensive line played well, giving quarterback Tyson Robbins a bunch of time to throw. The running backs had a lot of room, a lot of holes to go. After the game, I talked with Coach Williams about all the production from the offensive line.
Well, there's some young guys. They're young. We got one senior on there, and he didn't play. He was a little banged up. So we have some young guys out there, and they're huge, and they're getting better with their eyes. And at this time of the year, we need them clicking. We need everything clicking. So they had them guys charging the front, and also the defensive line is pretty good as well. So I think we're kind of peaking right now, which is good right before the playoffs.
Yeah, man, great game by Jones. I'm really liking everything I'm seeing with them. A lot of athletes, a lot of great things. Ever since Edgewater, they've really bounced back and done a lot of great things on the field.
That's right.
So.
Jones has been playing outstanding this season, minus that one loss. Dude, they're looking really, really, really good. That's another team that you guys got to watch out for in the playoffs. There's a lot of strong teams this year, man.
A lot of strong teams.
The playoffs are going to be absolutely insane.
I can't wait, man.
Especially with the new point system and everything like that, man. We got some stuff going down here in Florida.
Yes,
a couple games that I was out at this week.
Where were you at?
Thursday night, I went out to Dr. Phillips High School in their battle against Eastridge for that 8A District 5 title. Mm-hmm. Dr. Phillips came out hot. Nive and Pop Holland had a field day on this Thursday night matchup. Pop ended the game with 4 touchdowns, all scored in the first half of the game, including 3 rushing scores and a punt return for a touchdown. The dominant Panthers by halftime. They had this game pretty much in the bag already. DP's first half efforts put them up 34-0 after 2 quarters. Eastridge struggled to get much done on offense. The Panthers defense was playing lights out all night, stuffing Eastridge at the line of scrimmage and locking up the air attack. Robbie Sanders actually went down in the game, and Kenny Bright took over. He would score the only touchdown for the Knights of the night late in the fourth quarter. Eastridge's first points actually came in the second half on an Eddie Retina field goal. And one of the last moments in this game was a Dr. Phillips score off of a 97-yard kickoff return by Amir Johnson to put this game away with a final score of 47-10 and give Dr. Phillips the crown of the AA District 5 title for the 13th straight year. Them boys are unstoppable in district play. 50 straight, going on 50 straight district wins there. For Dr. Phillips, so they really can't be stopped. The king of the districts, man.
Yeah, they don't play when it comes to district play. Like that's that D and DP stands for district. Like the district Panthers, man, they can just take over in all
the
district games.
Panthers, man. That's y'all's new nickname
crazy.
there. Another game that we had a chance to go ahead and get out to on Friday night. Both of us were actually at that game. Was that Vanguard versus Lake Minneola game. Now, very competitive game in this one. Both teams coming into that game with just 2 losses on their records. And I saw a lot, man. They were going back and forth in the first for the majority of the first half there. Both Mineola and Vanguard were moving the chains all night. Mineola quarterback Devin Cole finished with a passing and rushing touchdown for the Hawks, and Keandre Maglore had 3 rushing touchdowns for Mineola as well. For Vanguard, DJ Daly and Trevante Rucker had great chemistry all night long. They connected for 2 touchdowns in the first half. Daly also had a rushing touchdown in the first half, and the teams headed into halftime with Vanguard leading 21-16. After the break, Vanguard came out and just straight up dominated the entire second half. Mineola struggled to have an answer for the Knights' offense, and Vanguard found themselves up 44-16 at one point. That lead was enough to put it away despite a late comeback attempt by the Hawks, and Vanguard wins this one 50-34 on the road in a tough game. Now, the Knights improved their record to 5-2 on the year. They're going to be taking on Lake Weir on Friday night. Lake Mineola, on the other hand, falls to 5-3 and has a home game on Friday night for the 6A District 5 title against undefeated Springstead. If the Hawks win, it's going to be the first district title in school history for Lake Mineola. So I know those boys are ready to go and ready to bring that title there.
It's going to be a real test for Lake Mineola, bouncing back after winning those big games that they were by big margin of victories and then getting completely just shut out really by Vanguard. It's really going to be good to see Lake Mineola bounce back from that loss to a district game, which is going to determine the playoffs. So
that's right.
That's where you find out where your team's at.
Yeah, that's right. And I know Coach Banks is going to have those boys working tough in practice this week.
Oh, yeah.
They want it. They're hungry. They're clawing. Springstead, on the other hand, just had a big win over South Lake. Ricky and Will are actually going to be talking about that game tomorrow on Double Take. Make sure you guys tune into that. But for today, Moo, that's all we got.
That's a wrap.
We'd like to go ahead and thank our sponsors. First and foremost, GardenGrocer.com. If you're staying in the Orlando area at one of the Disney resorts, go ahead and place an order for groceries to be delivered to your room at the time of check-in. Save money and time by shopping with GardenGrocer.com. And not to forget, UDiscover Florida. If you're looking for a restaurant, hotel, or just for something to do for fun this weekend, go ahead and give them a look on Instagram at UDiscover Florida. And hey guys, guess what? myGSPN is looking for interns. So if you love sports and talking about sports, then myGSPN has the perfect opportunity for you. We're looking for writers, reporters, and photogs. So if you're in high school and are eager to learn, then reach out to Brianna Gonzalez at brianna.mygspn@gmail.com for more information on that. Once again, guys, I'm Chris Gonzalez.
And I'm Anthony Coleman.
And thank you all for tuning in to this edition of myGSPN's Recap, where as always, you guys know, it's your sports, all you, all the time. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Double Take.